It's the only thing I can think of. There's no other reason. There's no other reason it's good. We lost nearly 30,000 private sector jobs. Think of that. And the jobs created were mostly government jobs. No, that's easy. You just call up, hire 100,000 people this month, you know. No, we don't want that. We want private jobs. Along with nearly 50,000 manufacturing jobs were lost in a single month. I've never heard of these numbers. These are depression numbers, I hate to tell you. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Don't get scared. Don't worry, because I know what to do. Under Kamala's catastrophic agenda, more than 100,000 manufacturing jobs have been wiped out since just the beginning of the year. It's not, these are numbers that are crazy. 150,000 Americans joined the unemployment rolls in October. That's really, you know? I mean, I've got your speaker. I've got a lot of big shots from North Carolina down here. They're looking like I had nothing to do with it. He said, I had nothing to do with it. In October, but nearly 250,000 people dropped out of the labor force. That's 250,000. They dropped out. They gave up. They basically gave up looking for a job. We cannot take 4 more years of this calamity. You may not be able to take a couple of months more of this. This isn't this. In fact, now that I see these numbers, I think I'm not going to do this. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to go to the beach. I didn't know I was getting. I didn't know. Joe Biden is Herbert Hoover. Turned out, I always said I'd hate like hell to be Herbert Hoover. I would. That was 1929, the Great Depression. These are Depression-type numbers. 100% of all net job gains in the past year. This is another beauty. Have gone where? Do you know where? To migrants. 100% of the job openings have gone to migrants, taking jobs from more than anybody else, and you haven't seen the numbers. And I think your speakers should ask Washington for those numbers because they're really bad. You know where they came from? African-American jobs. They've taken the African-American jobs. Migrants coming in illegally have taken African-American jobs. People that have done a great job. They've worked there for 20, 25 years in different places. And to a lesser extent, Hispanic jobs, but large numbers of African-Americans. It's going to probably be announced right after the election. They should be forced to announce it before the election because I'll tell you, they won't get one African-American vote. They're letting these people come in by the millions, and they're taking jobs of African Americans. And you're going to see it right after the election. They'll announce it. And they did another thing. They had 818,000 jobs that were fake. They were fake jobs. They were made-up jobs. They were fraud. If I did it, they'd throw you into the penitentiary for 20 years. Crooked Joe Biden. They don't call him Crooked Joe for a reason. I mean, it's a reason they call him that. He's a crooked guy. And she knew everything about it. They created 800, and you knew this? It came out like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. They created 818,000 fake jobs. And on top of it, it was just announced that they had to readjust last month and create another 112,000 fake jobs. So they thought that they'd do the readjustment. Now, there's never been an adjustment of like 2,000 jobs or something. So this is almost 1 million jobs that these people defrauded you on because they wanted to go into the election with at least a decent picture. Light with me. Great, but at least a decent picture. And we had a whistleblower that blew the whistle and told them that these were fake jobs. And so they've corrected that. And now we just had another whistleblower talking about 112,000 jobs off last month. In other words, last month where the numbers were terrible but okay, you know, not like this, they took 112,000 jobs. So that's almost 1 million jobs between the two of them. And even the 12,000, you're going to see that that's probably a fake number too. We probably went into negative numbers, which hasn't happened in generations. So I stand before you today as the only candidate who can rescue our economy. This is a really bad thing that's happened. From obliteration and restore it to strength, prosperity, and greatness. And you know what I'm going to do? The first thing unlike her, they say,
the first thing I'm going to do is what?
Well, I grew up in a grass piece of land. I had
What are you
a
gonna do,
backyard
Donald?
that had grass on it. Remember the debate? She said, I grew up with grass on my front yard and some grass on my back. And I'm saying, what the hell is going on here? See, I have a little more aptitude for this. I'm really good at this shit. So let me just, you know what we're going to do? We're going to drill, baby, drill like you've never seen before. Right straight there. And for the people in Pennsylvania, we're going to frack, frack, frack. But we're going to drill, baby, drill. And we're going to frack in certain areas. We're going to frack like we've never fracked before. Because we have more energy than any country in the world, including Russia. We're lucky in that regard. Including Russia and Saudi Arabia. They have a lot of oil. We have more than they do. And we were energy independent 4 years ago. Think of that. And your price per gallon was, I always went around and said 187. The government corrected me. It was 184 a gallon. Can you imagine? We got it down to $1.84. And now it's like $3.50, $3.75. But, you know, a few months ago, it was much higher. You know what they did? They went back to my policies because they were getting crushed. This was going to go over $6 or $7. In California, it was $8.50, Gavin Newsom. He does a terrible job. By the way, she worked with him. You know, she worked with him and destroyed California. And that's Kamala we're talking about. She worked with him, destroyed California. When she was the DA of San Francisco, she destroyed that city. She's the one responsible for the destruction of the best city, probably the best city in our country. And we're not going to let her do that to the United States of America. We can't. If my opponent knew how to fix the economy, it would have already been fixed. So I say, why didn't she do it? Do you ever see where she stands the other day? We are going to do this and that. I just keep going, why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? She's been there for 4 years, almost 4 years. Why the hell haven't they done it? Now today even, she's got some kind of a scheme. Yeah, it's a scheme, but it is a scheme. That she wants to do something, and she announced today, I don't know, something, whatever, doesn't matter. It's all a lot of bullshit, that's all it is. She announced a scheme. She's going to do something. And when I go to office, when she goes to office, do it tonight, do it today. You don't wait. She's going to wait. I've got a plan that I'm going to do this or that. Oh, good. Well, do it now. Do it right now, you know, if it's any good. No, she's a total fake. If Kamala, and she's incompetent, which is perhaps
What up, James? How you doing, buddy?
If Kamala wins, you are 3 days away from the
what's
start
up,
of a
buddy? Come on up.
1929-style economic depression. I believe that. You know, we have a lot of great analysts. Scott Bessent is one. He's one of the smartest guys on Wall Street. A real, you know, I call him 182, 184. Double her IQ, like double, maybe triple. But they say the only reason the stock market is doing good is because they all think Trump is going to be elected. So I believe that's true. I believe it's No, but you have a lot of them. You have this, Scott is one of the hottest guys. I hardly know him. I don't know him. But he writes all the time. He thinks that they think that Trump is going to win. And every time we have a good day, you can check out the market. But it seems like the market does very nicely. If I win, you are 3 days away from the best jobs, the biggest paychecks, the brightest economic future that the world has ever seen. Kamala's inflation nightmare. I mean, our economy is bad because of the inflation. No matter how well it does, the inflation just ripped it to pieces. We had no inflation. I had no inflation, virtually nothing. And now they have much higher than what you see, because when you see it, they don't put some of the higher numbers in. It's like the crime reports. The FBI forgot to put a few cities in there, like the worst cities in the country. So the crime report looked like it was pretty even. And he said, well, how come? I don't want to mention the cities because I'm trying to get their votes, okay? I don't want to mention, I want to get their votes, but you can imagine. But they forgot to put a few little cities in there, the big cities, actually. And then it turned out to be 45% increase in crime. A little difference. It's pretty sad when you have to rely on the FBI and they give you phony numbers too, right? Kamala's inflation nightmares cost a typical American family $30,000 in higher prices, and now She wants to impose the largest tax hike in American history and raise your taxes by $3,000 a year. This is the only person I've ever seen that's running for office that says, we will raise your taxes. You know, all my life I've watched politicians, and they're always saying, we will cut your taxes. We are going to cut, cut, cut. Some of them don't even mean it, but they say it. This one says, we're going to raise your taxes. Well, I want to give, this might be the only time I ever give her credit. If that's true, at least she's being honest. Okay? Right? But I've never heard it before. But at least maybe she's being honest. But and if she is, maybe that's even worse for you now. Because she wants to, when you think about it, she's going to raise your taxes. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses.
What's up, buddy?
And we will.
Leo Shaw.
And we will have something that I think is just great. You know, she came out with it right as soon as I said it. A couple of weeks later, she came out when she's making a speech. And she said, and I will have, and she said it quickly because she knew she was going to get hammered. I will have no tax on tips. No tax on tips. She got hammered. But we will have copycat. He said copycat. We will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. All right? Which of them is the best? Okay, ready? We'll just do this quick. This is a free poll. Because, you know, I pay these guys a lot of money, these pollsters, and I don't even think they send people into the fields first. Let's see, it's 51-49. Now, send me a check for $300,000, right? I don't think they even send people into the field. You know what that means. You know, they're supposed to have hundreds of people that go into the field. They make a lot more money when they don't even bother. They say, Trump is leading, 51-49. By the way, I think we are leading. You know, we're leading in every poll. But you're going to prove on Tuesday that we're leading by a hell of a lot more than just saying. We have to do it. We have to do it. Okay, ready? No tax on tips, right? No tax, wait. We'll go no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax Social Security. Ready? Face it, number one. Which is the best of the three? No tax on tips. Well, that's not too good. Do any of you work in restaurants? Or who works in a restaurant? Not too many people. You get a lot of money in this place. All right, because when I do that in Nevada, when I do that in Las Vegas, I say no tax on tips. I have to stop the speech, leave the podium for 20 minutes. It blew everything away. Okay. Again, no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. I see. That's right. All those houses you build, yeah, that's good. That's no tax on Social Security benefits. And these guys are going to say, Trump has a conflict of interest. He's giving himself a tax break. No, can you believe? Because I'm a senior, I don't feel like a senior. Wait a minute. Do the seniors here feel like seniors? I feel better. I actually feel better than I did 30, 40 years ago, I think. I actually think I'm sharper. Now, there'll be a time when that won't be, but I feel I'm sharp. You have to be sharp when you can escape these monsters back there. These horrible, horrible, dishonest people. You know, the fake news, I came up with the name. I came up with the name fake news. Unfortunately, there's a mistake with the fake news. The term is not strong enough. I need a stronger. It's fake is the least of it. They are totally corrupt. To lift up American families, I will protect and expand the child tax credit we created. We created it. And I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of their parent or loved one. These are great people. I'll tell you what, these people, if you didn't have caregivers, these family caregivers, we call them angel moms and angel wives, where a husband comes back from the war or something and lots of problems. And if you didn't have them, you know, our hospital system wouldn't be able to survive, literally. It would be, you'd have to make it 3 times bigger. These people have contributed so much, and they haven't been recognized. We're going to recognize. We're going to give tax credits to people that take care of people. No, you'd have the people in the hospitals instead of at home in a bedroom with their family, with their mother or their wife or whatever, and or their husband. And they're unbelievable people. And a lot of them are, a lot of them leave. A lot of them say, I can't take it. They say, I didn't sign up for this. I'm sorry, I didn't sign up for this. They say that, and they leave. And people understand that too. But these people, they're angels. They're incredible angels. Our hospital system would not be able to handle it. So I think they deserve it, don't you? They don't even ask for it. I don't have any big lobby or anything asking me for it. I have lobbies asking me for everything, but I have no lobby asking me for that. It's just something I feel. I've always felt it. I've seen so many of them, met so many of them, and they want to just take care of their son or their husband or their daughter. I mean, they just want to take care of these people. And you could never get that kind of a care in a hospital. As good as a hospital is, as good as the hospitals are, you could never get that kind of care. So it's a beautiful thing, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it immediately. We're going to get it done immediately to rapidly reduce inflation. Thank you, Angel Moms. I will end Kamala's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill some. And I'm going to tell you that the best thing we can do, look, we're lucky. We have oil and gas, and we have it in abundance. I got ANWR approved in Alaska, which is the biggest, perhaps the biggest in the world. It might be as big as Saudi Arabia. It's massive. Reagan tried to do it. He couldn't get it done. Everybody tried. Everybody, well, the Democrats not so much, but everybody tried, and every Republican tried, I can tell you that. And they tried like hell, and I got it done. I got it done. And we were ready to drill and go, and this guy gets in within the first short period of time. They terminated it. This would have made so much money for our country, would have been so great for Alaska. I love Alaska. My grandfather spent a lot of time in Alaska. He was looking for gold, and then he realized, well, it's hard to find gold, and he'd see what happened to those people. That was our rough life. That was real coal stuff. So he built these little buildings, and they became little hotels for the guys looking for the gold. See, we always had a little entrepreneurial spirit, and he spent a lot of time in Alaska doing that. He was looking for gold, and he said, I could do better with building little hotels along the trail, right? And they actually have one. I think it's like a big landmark deal now. It's really great. It's tiny. It's like a few rooms, but that's the way it was. It was beautiful, but spent a lot of time. This would have been so great for Alaska. It would have been incredible for Alaska and unbelievable for our country. We would have taken care of Asia out of ANWR. And the first thing he did is terminated it. And he also terminated the Keystone pipeline. But he let Russia build Nord Stream 2, which is the biggest pipeline in the world. He let them build Nord Stream 2. Think of that. And I terminated that. I said, no, you're not building it, Russia. You're not building it. I'm sorry, Vladimir. He would ask me, don't do that. I said, I got to do it, Vladimir. It was going to supply all of Europe, Germany mostly, but all of Europe. And I terminated it. And he comes into office, and he immediately approved it. I said, what the hell is he doing that for? And then they say, Donald Trump was soft on Russia. No, that was the biggest project in Russian history, and I terminated it, and they never got it finished. And then this guy comes in, and he lets it go. I tell you, he's the exact opposite. Think of it, the exact opposite. His foreign policy is the absolute worst. Every single foreign policy move he's made, look at Israel. Don't do anything, don't do anything. And at least now they're in a position where there's some defense, where they can defend themselves from what might happen. You know, we're very close, I'll tell you what, we're very close to going into a thing called World War III. And we have people that do not have the mentality to even think about keeping us out. They have no idea. Again, should have never happened, Russia going into Ukraine. Afghanistan would have never happened, never. Getting out was right. I was going to get out, but with dignity and strength, and keep Bagram, which is the big air base. They gave up Bagram. It was 1 hour away from where China makes its missiles, nuclear missiles, 1 hour. That's why I would have kept it, not for Afghanistan. 1 hour away, think of it. And he left Bagram, and you know who occupies it now? China occupies it. China, he gave this multi-billion dollars, and this is from many years ago, was built. Got the biggest runways in the world, can handle anything. The biggest runways, most powerful, deep, thick concrete runways. To build them today would cost billions, tens of billions of dollars. He gave it up like you give up nothing. I'd never seen. Always keep Bagram, and now China occupies Bagram, 1 hour away from where they make their nuclear weapons. It's so sad. What's happened in this 4 years is so sad. And she's now running for president. She shouldn't even be allowed to run for president. I'll cut your energy prices in half within 12 months because we're going to get it going. And to bring jobs back, millions and millions of jobs, we'll give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet, but only for those who make their product right here in the USA and hire American workers for the job. We're going to bring your furniture guys back. You know, I love this state. You know when I got to know your state? When I was in this hotel phase of my life, I did great. I loved those hotels. And I'd come to North Carolina because you had the greatest craftsmen, the greatest everything, right? And they're mostly gone. Where are they? Oh, they're in China. Not them. They didn't even take them. They end up getting jobs where they don't want to do that. They were the most incredible. I said, could you do something with the arm of that chair? Yes, sir. Ding, 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 ding. They were like artists. I said, boy, that's beautiful. Could you do that? Yeah, we can do that. But we can do something better. Watch. I said, man. And I'm telling you, you had the greatest craftsmen in the world for furniture. And that business has been obliterated by stupid politicians. They're going to all come back. You watch. They're going to all, because we are now going to protect them. We're going to protect them with, as I said, the most beautiful word in the dictionary, tariffs. And if these companies don't make their products here, then they will pay a very stiff tariff when they send their products or bring their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our companies and our workers. Our companies are going to be protected. I will never apologize for defending America. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. I will protect our borders. I will protect our family. I will protect our women. I'm going to protect our women. I got into so much trouble. You saw that. I said, we will protect, because I keep hearing, I think the women love me. I do, because they know, you know what? If they don't have me, they got millions of people pouring through and coming up to the suburbs. They say the suburban women. Well, the suburbs are under attack right now. When you're home in your house alone and you have this monster that got out of prison, he's got, 6 charges of murdering 6 different people, I think you'd rather have Trump. But here's what I did. And I had a group, very controversial. What I do is very controversial. I don't care. I do the right thing. I want to protect women, but I want to protect our men. I want to protect our children. I want to protect everybody. So I took a little poll. And these horrible people back there said, well, Trump is soft with women. I don't believe I'm soft with. They say Trump is soft. He's very good with men. I don't know. Thank you, men. Thank you, men. No, I'm through the roof with men. She ain't catching us, men, let me tell you. No, I'm great with men, but I'm sort of like soft with the women stuff. And I say, she goes, yeah, it's true, you are. Who said that? She said, I love, good. She's made it up. She goes, yeah, you are, but we love you. So I believe that women have to be protected, men have to be, children, everybody. But women have to be protected when they're at home in suburbia. So when I did it, I said it, I came off stage and my genius is back. Sir, that may be a little bit of a rough statement. What? That you're going to protect women. Tell me why it's a rough statement. They said, well, it's a little self-serving. I mean, they'll say, who do you think you are? I said, yeah, I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. So I came back out. I said, could I do a poll, please? I love these polls because they're free, I don't have these polls. It's $250,000 to interview 12 people, right? So what happens, I came out and I said, is there a crowd like this? This is a big crowd. I said, is there any woman that would be offended by the fact that I said, I am going to protect you as your president? No hands. So I had like 20,000 people. I didn't have one hand. I didn't have one hand, not one hand. Well, there was one woman that did say it. You know, this woman's very smart. She said, "Was that Pelosi?" Who the hell is that? You are a smart one. Wow. No, well, somebody else just said it was a woman who transitioned, you know. But I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I know. You have to be very careful, everything you say. You know, like there's some women that are very beautiful in the audience. I would never say that because if I said like that, her, we got a lot of her. If I said they were beautiful, that's the end of my political career. You're not allowed to say a woman is beautiful. You're not allowed to say, hello, you're a beautiful woman. You're a beautiful, very beautiful woman. If you do that, that's the end of your political career. But I've never had, you know, I mean, women sort of like it, but you can't do it because we have to remain a politician for 4 more years to straighten out this mess that these stupid people have given us. No, they want you to be very politically correct. And, well, they picked her because they wanted to be politically correct. She was the least qualified person. You had 12 other people, and she was number 13. In every poll, if he got out, but it should have been his decision. You know, he goes through and he gets these 14 million votes. It should have been his position. I don't know how you can just take it away. They really, think of it. This is a famous moment in our country's history. They went in and they said, "You're out," to the President of the United States. They said, "We're taking you